Welcome to Breakfast with Spaniels with Dr. Judy Morgan. Remember, you can purchase all of Dr. Morgan's products at her website at www.drjudymorgan.com. Now it's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Squeak. Morning, everyone. We are still on baby watch. May I please ask what you think about people saying treating cancer in dogs with panic cure works? Well, we've seen some human studies where it works really well, fenbendazole. There's another old sheep dewormer, levamisole, that some people have touted as being good for cancer. I've had a couple clients use it, and I don't know, I think the jury's out. Is there a way to make the notification sound less like a doorbell? Dog goes nuts. Well, that's the notification on your phone. I think you can change that on your end. I can't. Check your settings in your phone. Okay. So our title today is What's in Your Garden? And we have a very small garden this year because we got started really late because we were waiting for these raised bed containers to arrive, and they arrived actually last week. Very helpful. So they're not being used, but we ended up buying those fire pit rings, the metal ones from Tractor Supply. And those have worked out really, really well. But we bought three of them. We basically bought what they had. So we bought three of them and then filled them with pony poop in the bottom and then raised bed soil and put in the plants that we could find because it was so late in the year that starting from seed would have been a little tough. However, I did take some old flower pots that we had laying around and threw some cantaloupe seeds in them and grew them from seed. And we have our very first little melon. He's like this big starting on the plants. But we have different kinds. We have plum tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, slicing tomatoes, yellow squash because we couldn't find any zucchini.
Oh my gosh, do we ever have yellow squash?
We have yellow squash coming out of our ears. 6 yellow squash plants makes a lot of squash. We have beets. We had collards, but the cabbage worms destroyed them. I tried spraying them with natural sprays, and it just didn't work. We have little banana peppers, beets, Swiss chard, lettuce. The lettuce we got some out of it, but it got kind of destroyed by the cabbage worms as well. Eggplant. That's very slow coming along, but it is coming. And then we have our typical usual herb garden. So I was thinking about, okay, all these things that we have a lot of, what do we do with them and how many of those can be fed to our pets and how good are they for our pets? And the things that we didn't grow in our garden this year, we go to the farm market down the road once a week and stock up on everything that we didn't get to grow this year. And so much of that, we think about feeding our family with it, but so much of that is so good for our animals. One of the things that is really good this time of year to help drain damp, get rid of that heaviness that we get with the high humidity. If you live somewhere with the humidity, those of us on the East Coast, we're getting a lot of humidity in the form of about 5 inches of rain tomorrow. But cucumbers are so good for that. The basil is really good for that. Different kinds of lettuce can really help drain that. If you're growing mushrooms, we are growing some mushrooms, but I don't think they're edible ones. They're just from the humidity. So many of these things are really good for helping to drain damp. And we grow so much of that in our garden and don't necessarily think of using it for our pets. The yellow squash that Hugh keeps complaining, because I keep making him find different ways to make yellow squash. I love it. I can eat it every day, but after about 3 days, he kind of wants to throw it at me. He's a little sick of yellow squash.
The squash boats turned out nice.
We did do
We did
stuffed
enjoy those.
squash boats. Those were excellent. And the stuffing that we made included cherry tomatoes from the garden, the banana pepper from our garden, herbs from our garden. I think we put basil in it. And then we did some mixed rice in with it and hamburger onion. It was really good. Really, really good. So there's a lot that we can do with these things that we're growing in our garden, and they're so healthy. And so a really good book for those of you who want to use, besides my books that have the lists of properties of herbs and plants. This is an older book, and for the supporters, we've read some stuff out of this book and used this book a lot, but you can look up specific herbs in there. For instance, I just looked up radish, and radish is listed in a couple of recipes in there, but there's also, it talks about the properties of radish and what you would use it for. So you could look up really any food ingredient from your garden, and it would tell you how to use that for yourself or for your pets. This is a human recipe book, but certainly the food properties cross species very well. So somebody asked me the other day, said their dog didn't like basil I think it's in the heart draining recipe, and so the dog wouldn't eat it with the basil in it, and wanted to know what they could substitute. Well, basically what you need to do is look up the properties of basil, which obviously I'm using it for draining, and say, okay, well, what could we put in there instead that would have the same effect? An herb is going to be a little bit stronger than a food would be, but I mean, you could use radish, asparagus, cucumber for draining, but you could also look up different herbs and say, okay, well, I need a draining herb. What can I use in place of that? So this stuff is really powerful, and I'm telling you, there's so much that you can cure for yourselves and for your pets, and really good way to use those things that we're growing and be a little bit more self-sufficient. I said to you the other day when we did our squash boats, because the stuffed squash, because so much of it did come out of our garden. And I said, well, okay, if we could just get brave enough to raise our own meat, which none of us can do. When our chicken died the other day, I looked at the dead chicken and I was like, oh man, we really should use that chicken. Couldn't do it. I used to go hunting with my dad when I was a kid. I would walk through the fields with him, and I would help him clean the quail and the pheasant, and I didn't have a problem with it. So maybe I'm just getting softer in my old age, because I don't think I could do it now. I know Hugh can't do it. My mom's not doing it. So can't see the title. Can you? It's Recipes for Self-Healing by Daverick Leggett. Recipes for Self-Healing. It's a British book. It's from England, from Meridian Press. Recipes for Self-Healing. And he's got more books than this one. And I really want to say, I think this is from the 90s. So hopefully it's still in print. Let's see. 1999. So I think you can still get it. I think I looked it up on Amazon not that long ago. But anyway, I'm really enjoying the garden. I love going out there and picking things. And so I've been running through my brain like, okay, what can we grow next year? Because we're going to hopefully get started earlier next year. Who knows? But certainly growing green beans and lima beans and peas and snow peas. We've grown all those in the past. They're easy to grow. So I definitely want to get an earlier start next year. We tried to start early this year. It just didn't happen. Just too many things didn't work in the right way. Part of it was so many people decided to start putting in their own gardens and be more self-sufficient. Even we were on our third quilt and quilting supplies. We needed to buy a new sewing machine. It took like 4 weeks to get the sewing machine. Sewing machines are on back order everywhere because so many people have decided first of all, with being locked at home, you need something to do. And so everybody's doing home projects. But second of all, okay, good. Second of all, just trying to be more self-sufficient and less reliant on buying things and having things in stock other places. So I have to say, I realized when I went to the grocery store, I was saying it was 4 weeks. It was 8 weeks. I went May 23rd and I went like July 18th or 19th.
Yeah.
It was 8 weeks between grocery store trips because we just order everything online.
We haven't been back since.
No, and I haven't been back since July 18th, and we're well stocked. So like we're making all our own bread now. So we just had 12 2-pound bags of bread flour delivered yesterday. So I can make my own. And and freezers are on back order as well. Yep, definitely. Being self-sufficient, I think, is a good thing.
It is.
It makes me feel good because I know that I'm not going to run out of food. Our biggest problem is Hugh doesn't thaw things out. So, 3 hours before dinner, he says, "What do you want for dinner?" And then, I go look in the freezer and go, "I'd like this." And he says, "Great, you can have it tomorrow," because it has to thaw out. So I have to speed up the thawing out process. I think I just have to plan dinner for the next day. Actually, I did.
You did.
When we were downstairs by the freezer last night, I said, "Okay, I'm getting something for the day after tomorrow." What's it going to be? Okay. When do I sleep? I slept great last night. Tried tomatoes here in a container. They didn't produce anything. Got some jalapenos. Seems I can grow peppers. Swimming pools are on delay too, really. See, we had a swimming pool, never used it. I don't have a desire to have one. But hi, Joe Andrick. Blast from the past. Okay. All right. So people are posting where you can get the. Do you recommend vegetables or herbs for cats? Yeah, absolutely. Cats need some fiber in their diet. So most of what we feed our cats is about 10% vegetable or fruit matter in their diet. So they certainly can have it. They are definitely meat sources. I mean, if you look at what the big pet food companies are putting in cat food, they're about 10% meat. So can cats survive on it? Yeah. Is it the best thing for them? No. But any dry kibble is maximum about 25% meat. So, yeah. Okay. Guys, that was, hi, Ashley Luke. She's from Hair Today. For those of you who haven't met Ashley, say hi. I'm loving the ground chicken feet.
Yeah.
I got to order more. I use them a lot for our dogs. I use them for my natural glucosamine, chondroitin, hyaluronic acid, and calcium supplement. They love it. They love it, and it makes really good stools. Does baked pup loaf have as much nutrition as raw pup loaf? It's going to be darn close. Yes, coconut oil is a flea deterrent. Oh, my latest Isaias forecast. Flooding rain to the mid-Atlantic. My technicians are really going to enjoy that tomorrow at work when they're going out to get animals. Gonna be a fun day. Your dogs get duck feed every night. Yep. Can you treat a CCL tear naturally? Yeah. Get a good brace. Do laser, acupuncture, tons. Supplements. We do a lot of them.